Hi everyone, welcome to day 5 of the Valentine / love card a day for 14 days. So this is day 5 and I'm switching gears. I'm using Forever Blossoms and the coordinating dies, which are called Cherry Blossoms dies, from the annual catalog. It is a distinctive stamp set. It's beautiful. Haven't used it in a while, but the Always and Forever and the All of Me Loves All of You is what I'm going to use. It also just has the word love here, which we could use. And I did use the big stamp, and I used this little one on the inside, and that's it. You could also, you could put this inside. You could use any of these and they'd make a nice Valentine card. I also am using the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. It was in the August-December 2021 mini, but it carried over to 2022, so that's available online, and the number is 156505. I will have these all linked down below the video if you're in the US and interested in purchasing any of the products. But let me show you the card and then we'll make it together. Here is the card that we're going to make. So this paper is from the Friendly Hello, which is in the Sale-a-Bration. It's free with a $100 purchase, but you get a stamp set with it too, called Hello Friend, I believe, or maybe Friendly Hello, I can't remember. Anyway, this is the paper we're using. It's in Pool Party with black and white. It's got birds and flowers, and I thought those flowers looked similar to these flowers. So almost like a cherry blossom, right? So that's what I decided to use. And I'm using basic black cardstock, an A2. My cards tend not to be too many fancy folds and stuff like that. So they're pretty basic. But if you're familiar with A2, this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And so you end up with a 5.5. My black paper's a little funny. 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I cut the cardstock to be 5 1/4 by 4. This other side is, I believe, Granny Apple Green. That's pretty bright. But we're going to use this side. Now, I'm also bringing in a 2" by 2 long. This will be 5 1/4 also, so let's do that. And then we're going to emboss that piece. Excuse me. Alright, so let me bring the embossing folder up. And this, it really, it has direction, because these are like time worn type, right? I usually just put it where the edge of the printing is. I'm going to move it in just a little bit. And we will put this through. Now this is a 3D, so our sandwich is going to start with number 1 and use, if I can find it, here it is, number 4. I buried it with some books. 1 and 4 is all. And then you can either put this under. I usually just lay this on top, and that's how it's going to go through the machine. And this is the large Stampin' Up! Cut and emboss machine. I think one of my stamping friends up in Canada calls it Sadie. I don't have a nickname for mine. Some people call it the Boss. I don't know. Alright, and we can go ahead and put these down, and then we'll do some stamping and coloring. Alright, so okay, I have a question for you guys. So I was looking at my YouTube analytics, and it looks like the longest, or the average that people watch my videos and even my lives is like 10 to 15 minutes. What do you think? Do you guys like see the card and then click off, or how does this work? Also, I am doing a giveaway. I'll tell you about that more at the end, but if you've watched the other 4 videos, you already should know about that. All right. We're also going to use this ribbon. It's about done here. I have one more piece little piece I can use. This is the Pool Party sheer ribbon, 3/8 inch, and it's in the annual catalog on page 139. We're just going to do a little fold like this. Actually, let's go ahead and put that down since I have it in my hands. And so let me know in the comments about that. And then actually for the giveaway, you just have to indicate whether you'd like to receive this card. I'll give one of the 2 away that you can use for Valentine or someone that you love. Doesn't have to be a Valentine really, but it could be. That's why I called it Valentine and Love. My my glue dots on this roll that I just opened are they're upside down. They're usually on this. So when they rolled this in the factory, they did it wrong. Which is kind of funky and weird, but oh well. I'm going to put this down like right here. This way this time. There we go. And I just want to go like that. And kind of did that weird too. Sorry. There we go. Alright, that's not much better, but anyway, you get the idea. Alright, let's do some stamping. First thing we're going to stamp is the picture here, because I need to die cut that, and well actually, and then the sentiment here. And actually, we'll do stamping on the inside as well. So I have 2 pieces of white. Alright, 3. This is going to say always and forever, and I just stamped that in Memento Tuxedo Black. So let's go ahead and do that. I have a helper who just came to visit me. I got that a little gloppy, so I'm going to bring up a piece of scrap. My R looked a little gloppy, so I'm going to kind of smooth it down. I don't know why. Okay. It got like that. I have not re-inked my ink pad, and I do need to do that. I'm going to just hold it now. I don't recommend that. I recommend you putting it down on the table. Alright, let's leave that open. And I used a punch for this also. Let me get that out. It is called the Everyday... Nope, that's not it. Sorry. Not everything out but the punch. Here it is. Label Me Fancy. That's what it's called. It actually has a hole you can put in if you want it to be a tag or a label, or a slot for ribbon, which would have been another way to do it. So you can take, after you punch this out, you can take and I have to make sure that's straight. I think it's straight. There. You could actually go ahead and put it in like this or something, and you know, have room for your ribbon, but we're not going to do that today. All right, let me put that up here, and actually let's go ahead and put that on the card with dimensionals, and then we'll do the rest of our stamping. And I'm just going to put I'm going to put 4 because I want this part to be sturdy. Probably overkill. You could just put 3 or even just the 2 at the ends, but I'm going to put 4. And then we'll put that right over that funny looking part of the ribbon. Make sure I have it on straight. I do not exactly have it on straight. There we go. It just adds a little shimmer there. Alright, let me bring in one of our white pieces. And actually, let's do the inside first. And that is going to be Always and Forever. Or, no, I'm sorry. All my love. All of me loves all of you. I can't even talk today. Alright. And here we go. Hopefully get it somewhat straight up here. It's a little crooked. Let me look at it this way. I'm gonna try it one more time and I'll pick the best of the two. I don't know, I'm kind of funny that way. Oops. I think the other one was better actually. All right, we're going to use that one. And then we're going to stamp this little flower down here. Turn it like this, right there. All right, and then we are going to stamp some leaves, but I'll do them in a different color. So now let's get our big stamp and color this. Okay, I'll just stamp that here. Now these are cling, so you don't really have to have a pad under them or anything. If it was the clear stamps, I would suggest putting a some kind of a pad. I have a cutting mat under here, and that helps with the impressions on the photopolymer is what I was trying to say. But also we have a piercing mat at Stampin' Up, which is really good for stamping with your photopolymers. These are cling, so you don't need that. All right, I'm going to get out Soft Succulent. Actually, you know, I think I'm actually going to change my mind on that. I'm going to use Soft Succulent, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp the leaves, which I didn't get out of the stamp set. They're a little big, and actually I used 2 of these the last time, but I'm just going to get this one here, and it's a double leaf, and go ahead and use Memento again. I'm doing that because I don't like the way the coloring came out on the other. It sort of didn't quite look right. I'm going to try and put that stem. That doesn't look right either. I guess it's alright. Okay, that's all. Sorry, I have to clean my stamps, but I'll do that afterwards to save a little time. Alright, now we're going to use Pool Party Light and Dark. We're going to use the color lifter, and we're going to use Soft Succulent Light and Dark. And I think that's it as far as the colors that I used. Yep. And you see on this one how you can't see the edges very good. So we're going to do it a little bit different. I'll be right back. One sec. Alright, we'll start with the small one first. I'm going to use the dark Pool Party, and I'm going to do wherever there's a little bit of shading here and lines here, like right here, because so the artist who designed this and drew the stamps, as they many times do, kind of already did the work for us, right? They've already put in these things, and you could do these a different color entirely, but I'm making it tone on tone, sort of like the paper is in the hello, friendly hello, excuse me. All right, and then I'm just going to take the light Pool Party. I'll use the brush end this time and kind of blend that in a little bit. And then, you know, flowers oftentimes aren't all one color, right? So just to highlight them a little bit, I'll let this dry for a second, and then I'm going to go and use the color lifter in the open spaces, and that'll just make it more two-tone. Alright, now I'm going to kind of do the same thing with the Soft Succulent. Go down the stripes. I'm actually going to go down the stem too. Although I will not color the dark areas with the dark because I think it's too dark. I'm just going down the stripe, the vein of the leaf. Doesn't have to be perfect, everyone. I'm removing the word perfect. Oh, my helper's leaving me. I'm removing the word perfect from my vocabulary. I used to always strive for perfection, but I think that actually goes contrary to being creative. So, you know, I have this split in my brain. I have my accounting degree, detail-oriented side of me, and then I have the artistic, wannabe creative side, and sometimes they battle with each other. All right, now I'm taking the color lifter. Now, I always suggest when you're using the color lifter, you see some of it came out. It can be really juicy, especially, well, either end. This one, it's not too bad this time, except it spritzed when I opened it. And I'm just going to go in these wide areas here, and it takes a minute to appear lighter, but I hope you'll be able to see the difference. I certainly am starting to see it here for sure. And then once I go through it all, I wipe the tip off again on scrap paper or something. And you say, well, why did you put the color down in the first place? Well, you need some color down, but I think that makes it look more realistic. Let me know your thoughts, whether you like that or not. Okay, that's the inside of our card. And now we're going to do the same thing with this. Okay, let's do the flowers first. And I'm going to go ahead and do all the dark Pool Party first. Pool Party is a Stampin' blend I use frequently. It's good for sky, flowers, you know, birthday. It's a good color for birthday cards and, you know, presents on the cards or whatever. It's just one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Well used colors, I should say. I have a lot of colors that I like of theirs. Coastal Cabana, same thing. Bermuda Bay, I love. I love a lot of the reds too. Real red especially. And I love the new pinks, both the Magenta Madness and the polished pink. Alright, that's it on that one. Let's move over to this one. I'm just going to do the stripes and around the edges. I'm doing around the edges with the dark. You don't really need to. I didn't do that on the leaves, and I may not on these leaves either with the dark succulent, because it's a little too dark to my liking for doing edges. Now you could use the brush end if you want. It's a little finer. I just don't have as much control personally with the brush end. So for outlining things, I actually prefer the nib, even though it is a little bit thicker of a tip. But you do you, right? You do you. Love yourself. As one of my new favorite bands would say. Whether you're old or young, love yourself. I need to convey that to my kids a little better, I think. Trying to. I get to babysit again. Yay, next, not tomorrow, but, well, by the time you see this, I don't know. I might have, let's see, I don't have a calendar on my wall anymore, so I'm not sure. This is day 5, well, the 21st, the 25th at night. So I think this will go up before that, but it won't be tomorrow. And then these little buds, because they're so dense, I'm actually just going to color them with the dark entirely. I think I have another one of these to do. This one, I'll color some of it, but I'll color, that one's a little bigger. All right, let's color them in with the brush end. Now you could use whatever colors you wanted. You could use multicolor. I sometimes like to put some Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry in the middle where the whatever these things are called in the stamens, where the stamens are, not stamina, duh. And yeah, but because, like I said, because the papers sort of just pull my helper's back. Hello, Callie. It's sort of just one color with the black and white. That's what we're going to do here. Well, with the exception of the leaves, we'll have a second color there in Soft Succulent. This is pretty easy blending. Very easy coloring. Okay. Now, I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Hello, Callie. What's the matter? Hmm? She's looking at me funny. She's looking at me funny. I know my son he's a late riser. And I know he just got up down there. That's why she went down to see him. But perhaps she wasn't satisfied and came back up. I don't think that leaf stamped all the way. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just do this. That's my bad. I didn't notice that. Alright. And I wasn't really going to outline these, but I was going to outline them. I wasn't going to do the shading, the shaded parts all the way. I am going to do all those stems, but I'm going to do those real fine ones at the top with the brush tip. Okay, and maybe that one there too. These down here I do with this tip. Could use both tips on that, but it's all good however you would like to do it. And I know this is probably like watching paint dry. I may just only do that side there. And turn your paper so your hand isn't on your image too much. I mean, alcohol markers dry pretty quickly, so it's not a big deal. Alright, I'm going to use the brush tip, and then before I forget, I want to do these little leaves hanging off of here, and these tiny little stems there and here. And I forgot this one. Oops. See, I don't have as much control. Oh well. Okay, let's color these leaves. Oh yeah, we're botching it. We're botching it. I'm trying to blend it. Some colors I blend better with than others. Like the pool party. Alright, we have some little leafy things on this blossom here too, so we'll do that. Okay, and then these two leaves. Usually for blending I just go in a circular motion. This soft succulent is really juicy on the brush end, so I'm trying to be a little careful because it's really coming out heavy. It's a newer blend. Alright, I'm going to use the color lifter next. Let me put these two away. So that was Pool Party Light and Dark combo and Soft Succulent Light and Dark. And I'm going to use the nib end again, and I'm going to test it again. Alright. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did. I'm not going to do it well, maybe I'll do a little bit on these, not so much. I want to do it more on the larger part of these leaves. Maybe that one there. Just give them some lightness. Multicolor, right? I don't know if you can see that lifting compared to the ones I did or not. I can. Just seems to highlight them. And then if you wanted to, you could also I'm just wiping off on a sheet of paper to the right of me. What was I gonna say? Oh, you could put Winkostella on as well. Now see, I have a little spot here that I think dripped, and I'm going to use it there, and that will dry and hopefully remove that little spot. And somewhere else I went out of the line more than I wanted to right here. I'm going to use that right there, and I may have to go over that one again. But I think that adds like dimension to the flowers a little more. Let me know what you think, like I said. Alright. Did I get everywhere? I might actually do that with the leaves a little too. Some of them. Maybe we'll see it more on the leaves, because they look awfully dark to me. Maybe I should have used a lighter green. Kind of went off the leaf on this one too, right up here. Okay, well, that one I maybe should have left alone. Okay. And just little bits because it spreads. But I do think I like that better on the leaves. Alright, and then this one. You can see the veins more, I think. Right? I'm going to take this and just do this a little more right there. Alright. I'm going to call that done. And now I need to get my die, and then we'll die cut it and finish our card. Let's see what we're at here. 11:40. Nope, that's not right. 14 minutes roughly. Alright. Trying not to take too long on these videos so that you'll watch them more completely with any luck. Did you know you can speed up watching videos by just putting the speed at like 125 or something? So that would help you. Maybe you're already doing that and that's why the time is showing. I don't know. Alright, this is a little bit maybe not tacky enough. I've used these little pieces of washi already before so that they don't tear the paper was the idea, but I think I need one more down at the bottom. You can see it stuck to my die from last time. I made it a little bit bigger this time, and I'm just going on my skin to, I don't want it to be too tacky because then it might tear the paper, and I've had that happen. Alright, I'll be right back. Now this time I'm using the big machine, and the plate is 1, 2, 3, and 3. I had mine reversed there. Okay, be right back. Okay, so if you were going to put Winkostella on, I would do it before you put it on here in case, like my Winkostella is really juicy too. Yeah. So I'm going to get out both my mini dimensionals and my regular, and we're going to load this baby up with dimensionals. I'm going to use little ones on these leaves. I just want it to be secure. You could just put put one there. Sorry about my voice. I know I have a weird voice anyway, but Okay, there we go. Okay, let's put this on. So by the time this airs, I guess we're pretty close. We're at the middle of January already. Can you believe that? I can't still believe that the holidays are over. And yeah. It's like that every year though, isn't it? And that just fits around that curve really nicely, I think. And we'll put them away. Throw out our trash so they don't end up all over the floor and the cat and my feet. Now see, also if you're going to stamp, don't stamp directly on the back of your card because it will go through, right? You can see the flower here. The Stampin' Blends will go through. If you need to color on the back of your card directly, don't use alcohol-based markers. Use water ink based markers like the Stampin' Writes instead. All of me loves all of you. So there is our love card for day 5 using the, get you the name of it, Forever Blossoms with the coordinating cherry blossom dies in the annual catalog and the time worn type 3D embossing folder. That's a new favorite of mine, carried over from the 2021 August-December mini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to be entered in a drawing to win this card, I'll be doing a drawing on the 15th day. After all, the videos are up for 14 days. And one of the cards will be given away. If anyone's interested, just put a comment down below that you'd like to be entered for the day 5 card, which is the Always and Forever card, we'll call it. Okay, and I am going to write that also on a piece of paper so that I know this is the day 5. Oh, I forgot to put our bling on also. Day 5, Always and Forever. Thought I'd do something a little bit different than the cutesy stuff, but you know, we're gonna have a mixture in this collab. All right, I'm gonna put that, actually I'll stick it right here because there's no bling going there. And the bling I use this time is the Holiday Rhinestones. Color is actually Coastal Cabana, but it looks really close to Pool Party. So we'll use a little one. This is the Take Your Pick tool if anybody is interested. Comes with a putty end, which you get, I think you get 2 of those when you first order it, and you can order replacement putty refills, which I probably need to do. It has this end, it has a pointy end, but and then you can get separately this brush end. I actually bought 2, that way I can have a pointy end with my brush end for die cutting, and I use this and this mostly for putting gems on. The Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels are in the annual catalog. If you want them, hang on. If you want them, order them soon because the annual catalog ends May 2nd. And I'm sure that as things sell out, if they're not going to carry over, and we don't know that yet, they may not have them in the last month or whatever if people order a lot of them, right? So the colors in it are Native Navy, Coastal Cabana, Shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler, and Pumpkin Pie, which I don't use much of, but I think I'll be trying to use some of that soon. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.